All right, folks, good morning. All right, let's get started. So for today, October 23rd, Wednesday, we have the following. At 9 a.m., we have FOMC member Bauman speaking. Then, not expecting that to have a significant impact based on the report here. At 10 a.m., we're going to have existing home sales. Now, that should have a significant impact on the markets. Current expectation is 3.88 million. Then at 12 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have FOMC member Barkin speaking, and not expecting a significant impact from that, it seems. And then at 2 p.m., we'll have Beige Book. All right, so those are the reports. Beige Book is not expected to have a significant impact. So at 10 a.m. is basically the only major report that we'll have today. It looks like, but you never know. We'll just keep an eye on anytime where an FOMC member is speaking, but we're not expecting them to have much impact today. Having said that, let's review the NASDAQ ETF first. So in the pre-market, right now the QQQ ETF is currently trading below where it closed yesterday. And as far as the trading action that we see here, fairly neutral. Oh, sorry, it was positive, I should say, excuse me. The market was moving up. We were up a little bit yesterday, nothing crazy, but the market did close higher than where it opened and also close higher than where it closed the previous session. As far as the opportunities that came up yesterday, we weren't really able to find much, but there were two decent ones. First was Microsoft. That one was strongly bullish. It was able to eventually reach our target number two to the upside of 428.32. But we were not able to hold out for the entire move because there was economic data that came out halfway through that move, which we had to exit our trade because the market got a little volatile. Then after that, the volatility gradually slowed down and the stock was able to resume its move up to T2, but we weren't able to find a very good entry into that after that point. But otherwise, it was a good move. And then we also had AMD. Now, this came up a little later, just around the end of the morning session. And AMD was bearish. It had already reached target number one to the downside of 153.20 by the time we saw it, but it dropped so fast that it was kind of impossible to catch anyway in the first part of the session. Then after this long pullback, it started to go down again. We looked at an entry. The stock got about 1/3 of the way to target number two to the downside, but that was about it. So that one was short-lived as well. So it wasn't a great day for trading overall, but we did at least find one really good stock for Microsoft. Taking a look at what's moving in the pre-market, here's what I see so far. Let's go through a few of these stocks. Some of these names are going to sound familiar since they've been on our radar multiple times recently. First up is BIVI. This stock, Bivi, BioV is the actual company. It's currently up 12.5% on 6.5 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. That does qualify for all of our pre-market criteria, so we'll go ahead and keep that on our list. It was on our list yesterday as well. Next up is CYCC, which is presently up 16.08%, 4.9 million shares traded, and it's at least $1 per share. So we will go ahead and add CYCC to the pre-market watch list. Next up is GNPX, which is currently up or down 20% on 3.1 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that GNPX to our pre-market watch list. Next up is PHUN, which is presently up 25% on 7 million shares, and is trading at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add PHUN to our pre-market watch list. Next up is SAVE, S-A-V-E, which is presently, oh, sorry, that's an NYSE stock, sorry. Forget about SAVE. Next up is Tiger, TIGR, which is presently only down 3.4%, so that's not down enough, so I'll have to pass on that. TVGN, that is presently only up 3%, so that one I'll have to pass on as well. Then there's VRAX. Now this one looks good, up about 80%, more than 25 million shares traded, very active right now. It's over $1 per share, so we'll definitely add that VRAX to our pre-market watch list. All right, so these are the stocks we found so far. Let me just post them in the room. Or sorry, in the chat, I meant to say. And if you folks see any other stocks other than those that I just posted that meet all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat. All right, so Jen mentions BSGM. That um, I'm not sure why it's showing 0%, but it looks like this is up more than that. So I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the actual percentage change, but it appears that that's up more than, let's see, it closed yesterday at about there, yeah. So that's definitely up more than, sorry, give me one second. Yeah, it's definitely up more than 6%. Not sure why this is not reflecting here, but anyway, we'll go ahead and add that. It's above $1 per share, 1.9 million shares. I'm not sure why the percent change, yeah, it's not showing there, but it definitely is up more than 6%. All right, we'll add BSGM to the pre-market watch list. Next up, we have DBVT, which is currently up 51.43%, 12 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share. Yep, so that one definitely qualifies as well. So DBVT is added. And then next up, we have ENPH. That's interesting. I didn't see that on my pre-market scan. All right, ENPH down, wow, 17.33%. Enphase Energy, 1.3 million shares roughly. It's at least $1 per share. What's the news on that? Let's see. Enphase is down because results, earnings. Oh, terrible earnings. That's why. Okay. So Enphase, which is a regular on our radar, we'll add that as well, ENPH. All right, so if you folks see any other stocks that meet all four of our criteria other than those I've already mentioned, let me know in the chat. Let's just make sure we know what the criteria are. We're looking for NASDAQ listed stocks. They have to be trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market, must have achieved at least 1 million shares of traded volume in the current pre-market, and must have achieved at least a 6% price change in the current pre-market. Must be a positive or negative price change will work. So if you see any other stocks that meet all four of those criteria, let me know in the chat, and we'll go ahead and take a look. And while you're at it, please be sure to like this video. I see we have 8 likes, but more than 8 people watching, so please be sure to hit the like button. Greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when we post a new video, if you haven't subscribed already, of course. All right, so again, folks, if you see any other stocks that meet all four of our criteria, NASDAQ listed stock, must be at least $1 per share, at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume, and at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. If you see any stocks that meet all four of those criteria, other than the ones, of course, we've already mentioned, let me know in the chat. We'll take a look. All right, so I guess that's it. So we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's pre-market pulse, folks. For everyone as part of the coaching program, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 22 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's session. Other than that, for everyone else, I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Everyone have a great trading session. Take care.